The San Diego Bay presents a lofty promise, and immigrant fishermen rise to build a new life for their families. In the process, they will set a new foundation for our entire city. It is here in 1932 that Bayside is founded by Bishop Buddy, along with the Sisters of Social Service, as a settlement house to meet the immediate needs of these immigrant families. As the Great Depression hits, it is here at Bayside on Date Street, between Front and Union, that countless families will be served during their most desperate hour. With the outbreak of World War II, San Diego is once again redefined. Housing projects of unprecedented scale emerge from barren hills. New neighborhoods like Linda Vista spring up with headline-catching speed, and thousands of new residents begin to call San Diego home. As the decades pass, new and diverse populations relocate to San Diego. When American troops withdraw from Vietnam and Saigon falls, over 50,000 Southeast Asian refugees relocate to our city. Like the hundreds of thousands of immigrants and other newcomers before them, these men, women, and children will rise and build new lives and a new trajectory for San Diego. In response to new and growing needs of San Diego's diverse population, Bayside expands its presence out of Little Italy and throughout the city, serving refugees, the urban poor, youth, and seniors in City Heights, Linda Vista, and beyond. It is at this time that 2202 Comstock Street is established as Bayside's satellite location. As the city's population continues to grow and the needs of residents shift, Bayside continues to evolve and transform, eventually becoming the secular, community-based nonprofit that it is today. For 90 years, Bayside has worked to empower our diverse community, and in the process, has helped nurture the very roots of our city. Let's listen to the voices of those who have been impacted.
It started in Little Italy, which is over there, toward the end of this bay. And then over time, it expanded outward and to include the community that I have come to love, Linda Vista. So when people have come to Bayside in Linda Vista, it was not uncommon for people to say like, oh great, so where's the view of the bay at? And it's like, well, yeah, we should talk about that. There's a history, and really impressive, important history to that.
Bayside was started in the community down on Date Street because there were a lot of Italian immigrants needing services.
The majority of us were Italians. We had some Portuguese living in the area. We had some Mexican folks living in the area, okay? And we were all the same family, all the same group. Everybody got along.
A lot of times, cousins, there'd be so many of them, they were the same age, because the men would go out fishing. They'd be gone for 3-4 months. The fishermen would come back. And guess what happened when they came back? All the women got pregnant. So that's why there's so many cousins and everybody at the same age. So when you see this gang, we're all in that era. You see all these levels of same age people like Dominic and me and things like that.
Bayside was a very important thing for us because the men that didn't fish were our coaches, and kept us busy and out of trouble. Because, and we have the community here, but Bayside was a big part of it.
They were watching over us, really.
Bayside. I don't know. To me, it was synonymous with Little Italy.
There was no other organization that offered what Bayside offered. Bayside had English classes for all the Mexican and the Italian families to take advantage. Come and learn English. Come and learn this language of this country where you've immigrated to. My mother learned how to drive there. Education was really pushed. Little by little, downtown was moving into Little Italy. Many of the homes were being torn down. high rises were being, built. Our executive director during that time realized, you know what, this is, we probably need to move into another area that can benefit from the services that we can provide.
Well, in Linda Vista, it was at the time of towards the end of the Vietnam War, and the government was putting lots and lots of Vietnamese refugees in Linda Vista because of the low-cost housing. And Linda Vista was a pretty tight community, and they weren't easily accepted, and there were language issues and everything. And but obviously they were people in need of the kinds of things that Bayside had to offer.
Khi ở Việt Nam thì sống với cái tinh thần của mình bất ổn, cuộc sống khó khăn.
6-7 năm ở tù rồi. Tôi ở tù, đưa ra Bắc ở tù 13 năm. 88 thả đi về. Về thì ở nhà nó rất là khổ sở, đủ thứ, không có chuyện gì làm ăn, không có chuyện. Thành ra rồi tới chừng mà Mỹ gọi cho tới 93 mới điều qua bên đây.
We were able to find that property, and I started writing grants to get the money to buy it, and we got it. And later, and we opened a part, besides the community services, we had a senior center there. And the California Department on Aging later said that Bayside was the only truly multicultural senior center in the state. There were lots of other senior centers that were bicultural, but this was the only multicultural. Yeah, it was exciting.
Khi đặt chân qua nước Mỹ thì mình thấy cái khó khăn nhất của mình đó là cái ngôn ngữ. Vì cái tuổi của mình lúc qua đã lớn rồi, thành ra cái trình độ Anh văn của mình mặc dù cố học hỏi nhưng mà chữ nhớ chữ quên, cho nên trở ngại lớn nhất vẫn là ngôn ngữ.
My friend tell me about Bayside, so I study English here. Now my pronunciation is getting better.
When I started, it was in 1976. Bayside was already getting established or had been established here in the Linda Vista area. But when we were in City Heights, it was before the 15 went through there. I still remember once I was in City Heights, and we had a van that said Bayside, it was Bayside Settlement House at that time. And I had somebody stop me and say, "Weren't you guys down in Little Italy?" And I said, "Yeah." And he remembered going there as a child. And this was a gentleman that was a little older than me. He remembered going there. He said, "I remember Bayside." And even being here in Linda Vista, we would have people come in and say, "Are you the Bayside that was downtown?" Because by that time we had changed our name. And I think, Bayside has been such a positive influence on a lot of people. As I said, even just myself as a kid, it gave us so many opportunities that, we were a family of 6 kids. My father worked very hard, and we couldn't afford to go and do a lot of the things that Bayside opened our eyes to. We went to camp. When were we going to go to camp? Never. But Bayside gave us that opportunity. And I think it wasn't just me. I think I could speak for a lot of people that Bayside has given us many, many opportunities.
So it's really different. I learned a lot, I'll tell you that, boy. First day I learned a lot. And I was really welcomed by some of our fellow nonprofits and other people. I got to know a lot of people. I got to know a lot about the Hmong and the Vietnamese. It went by really fast. No time to have memories.
That's why when you look at what Bayside did so well at that time and how that has stood the test of time, it's because there are some basic needs that people have when immigrating to a new community, moving to a new community, and that is connection, meaningful connection.
There's a lot of single issue nonprofits that work on a specific cause, which I think is important and has most definitely its place. But what I personally really like about Bayside is that its cause is the people in a certain community, and those needs are vast and diverse, and those needs change. And so when you're able to be flexible and you're able to know who you're trying to reach so well, you're able to reach and serve in a way that's unique and really at a deep level.
So Bayside is the prototype for community center, community organization. They're tireless, they've been around for 90 years. They have wonderful leadership that is representative of the community. The doors are open all the time. It's a center of community energy and innovation and a place to belong. And this space, every time I enter it, is magical in the sense that it is where the real people come.
Với lại được khỏi cần phải nói gì nữa, đây rành lắm, Bayside họ rành lắm.
If you went to Bayside, you were okay, and it's true.
Bayside helped me get started my ballet folkloric program by supporting me, offering me their help. Since I get on Bayside, I just started with a very small group, about 5 dancers, but me being there at Bayside Community Center, they helping me, guiding me, giving me the tools so I can expand my business.
Estamos encantadas con esa escuela de Bayside, o van, porque ella no hablaba de inglés, y pues ahorita la veo que está súper avanzada en el inglés.
Bayside is a program that is really good. You learn very fast. The teachers are really good.
I said there are some things that Bayside does that are clearly Bayside. You know, you can see that program, that initiative, they are really, really good. But then there's also a way in which Bayside exists almost like the wind, to where you just see leaves moving, and as you see leaves and branches moving, you know that there's something taking place. And I can, give you an example of that. Last week, we had the privilege of launching the farmers market, relaunching the farmers market, which was a really big deal here in Linda Vista. That work couldn't have happened if Bayside didn't make the connections that brought people together and say, okay, where do we go from here? And I was there.
I think Bayside was important in the fact that when you were young and you told your parents, I want to go to the movies or something, it was always a question like, who's going with you? When are you going to be back? What movie you're going to go see? When you told them you're going to Bayside, not a problem. They knew you were safe there. So Bayside was the hangout. That's where it was. That's where friendship, love, community, everything was there.